Happy Monday, traders. It's 8 a.m. Chicago time on Monday, the 30th of August, 2021. Thanks for joining me today. This is episode number 2062. Derivatives trading is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Mic check, if you will. Just let me know where I am audio-wise, because what I see and what you hear in terms of levels don't seem to work very well. So let's go into our normal routine here. We're going to jump into the Convergent Trading pre-market summary sheet live here, and we see that actually there's been a bit of a climb. I started out with a mixed market that was slightly up. We see allocation to risk slightly. Now it was mixed. The overall market has been balanced overnight. Not much to speak of in terms of activity. Looking at a non-time-based chart, a Renko chart, the overnight session shows very, very little. I'll show you that in a bit. The S&P is up 5.75 points. The main thing to take away this morning is we are balancing at new all-time highs, not giving up any room, despite the fact that on Friday we pushed through and got above the 4,500 in the S&P and new all-time highs across the board. We are completely chopping. If you look at the Dow, you look at the Russell, they're just completely chopping right at the all-time high. So we haven't found our sellers yet. The NASDAQ pushing 20 points, 21 points. The Russell's up 8.7 points, up 0.38%. Europe's a little bit higher. We see flows into Treasury futures as well. They're up. Copper's higher. Remember, copper, silver, and gold rolled forward starting with today's session, so you should be looking at the next contract. Crude has been climbing up. Potentially as a result of the shutdowns due to Hurricane Ida hitting the energy coast here in the U.S. Down south, and it's pounded Louisiana. And this shuts off some of the supply there. Not seeing crude come off at all. Crude made a bottom and started basing around last Monday, something like that, and has been climbing back up from $62 up to today, pushing a high of around 69 and a quarter. So crude's definitely making a nice push there. And then crypto's been completely sideways, just chopping around the 47, 48,000 in the in Bitcoin and 3,200 in Ether. So that's where we stand. Pre-market releases. The big name is Zoom, but I filter for 1 billion. I filter for 1 billion in estimated revenue or higher. Zoom is just below that at something like 980 million or something like that, so it doesn't show up. So we see Catalent and Vion. There's no major post-market releases. What's driving the markets? Again, energy's moving on storms. U.S. unemployment comes out on Friday this week, and then we go into a holiday. Next Monday, be aware, is the U.S. Labor Day holiday. The markets will be closed next Monday. So going into the week, do expect things to slow down, volume to taper off, and for folks to take their last summer break before the fall begins. Schools start here in Chicago today, and I'm sure they've already started in many, many other places. In terms of events, pending home sales at 10. This morning, we did get consumer confidence out of the Eurozone, came in line. Economic sentiment came in a little weaker. Inflation rate came in lower for Germany. and we're looking for pending home sales, expecting negative 2%. Dallas Fed expected at 25, and so on. This evening we get Japanese unemployment rate, industrial production, and we get China's NBS manufacturing PMI and non-manufacturing PMI, and Australia's building permits month-on-month prelim for July. That's where we stand. The S&P is at 109,000 contracts so far. Relatively light trading overnight is expected. The market overnight inventory is at 74% long, 74% long, and the range is 12.5 points from 4,575 to 4513 and a quarter, with the point of control right in the middle of the range at 4508. So overall, what this is saying is it's likely to be a quiet one. Here's what was expected on Friday. Friday was looking for a pullback into the 73 area. Look for a pullback base, come back to the overnight point of control, and then squeeze through 85 and 95 and push through 4,500, expecting it to go as far as 06. Statistically speaking, it went to 45.10. So scenario one was in play on Friday. Here's what the chart looked like. So as we sit here looking at Friday, note that we are currently trading around 1250. We're up here, folks. We're not giving up. We have not given up any of the room that the buyers have gained on Friday. This is an important fact. Friday, nice little open auction at the open. Could not, it went to 73.75. Remember, we're expecting a low of about 73. And then we squeeze into the prior day's high, balance here, push through the 4,500 and pull back to the prior day's high, chop around it, and finally squeeze through to new all-time highs again above 4,500 with a settlement of 45.05. The point of control on this is at 45.06. 45.06. And so we finished with a P-shaped profile up here, just a squeeze, and we do not give up any territory. So the expectation is it's likely to continue higher on the reopen, and it did in the overnight session. It's pushing again that all-time high. So we went to 13 and a quarter overnight, above the 45.10. So this is as expected. This has pushed up, and it's not giving up any territory, and that's the main thing you need to be aware of, that shorts do not have a place here unless the market has a large rotation down and holds retests higher. It's not able to retest higher, then I'll start looking for structured shorts. Other than that, it's really looking for breakouts long or buying pullbacks long. On a day like today, given the context of where we are and what has happened on Friday, and we'll get into it here, what has happened overnight. In today's context, you might want to consider trading the edges. In other words, trading from the outside in, or a mean reversion type trade. I'm not expecting any driving behavior today, given how we have set up overnight. This is the overnight session. We open back up Sunday, squeeze to 13 and a quarter, push down, and then we have consolidated in the center for a long time. For the entire session, we've just started to perk up a little bit and push higher towards the overnight high. But overall, we've held the overnight point of control, the full session mid and full session VWAP. We've held those prices and traded the heck out of them through the whole overnight session. So we're holding above the settlement price, and we're not moving away from all-time highs. So that's where we stand in the overnight session. Let's get a perspective on where we are in the overall picture. So let's simplify this image here and look at what we've done. This is what we have. We've got a market that really is not able to pull back very much. You can see these pullbacks getting shallower and shallower, and actually the pushes, the new all-time highs before the pullback, also getting shallower. So what we have is kind of a an ascending wedge or an ascending triangle. Let me clear my throat 1 second. We have an ascending triangle, and it does not stay at lower prices very long. Remember, there's a lot of liquidity in the market. There's tons of money sitting on the sideline to be deployed. That is money that could go into mergers, stock buybacks, investments in various assets. So there's no dry up here, and so we end up with these continuous highs as we deploy more and more money into the market. So let's take a look at this chart in all of its glory. Here's last week. Remember, each one of these boxes is representative, is shading 1 week, and each shade is shading a month. So you could see that the dark, they just alternate between dark and light. The dark boxes are representing what we've done for the month versus last month. So the monthly very clearly has a higher low. The weekly very clearly has a higher low. The daily, given Friday, has a higher low. The trend is up. And again, we are just not giving up any of these prices. We built a point of control, an MC point of control last week at 80 for a while, and we shifted that up to 82. 82 even. That's a key price below you need to pay attention to. The key prices below are 82, 37, 82, 37, 22, 01, or 4400, 65 or 6450, and so on and so forth. We have pretty good structure below. We do have a gap still from last Monday that we have not filled in, but we're not looking like we're going to be filling it in today. So today, I would caution you against being aggressive and pushing any particular position much. Here's what we've got for today. Just looking at the Edge Pro X version of the charts, this is a 4-tick Renko of the entire overnight chart. This is pretty bad. Very, very little action for the overnight session. It's we've done very little. You can see that the cross section of delta is relatively flat. There's a positive delta here, but overall, just a very, very quiet, balanced overnight session. We're trying to peak up here, but we don't see any big lot bubbles or anything like that that's worth noting. Looking at the heat map, there's a little bit of some artifacts here at 45.15 and 45.08, but you can see that these things are shifting a lot. When they're shifting a lot in the book here, I don't expect that there would be very much in terms of activity when we get to those prices. So I'm expecting that this is just a market maker. This is just a market maker, and they're just tracking prices. There is a UK holiday today for sure, and Europe is a little bit slow this morning. Volume is light, so I would say that today is just a good day to lay off and take it easy. Okay, not to be aggressive, not to push very much on what's on the action. So be picky today and watch your risk. Okay, so Let's take a look at what's expected for today. Here we go. Again, very nice structure below. Some pretty obvious key areas below. We're opening, we're likely to push this 45.13 right away. We're likely to squeeze pretty quick. We're likely to squeeze pretty quick. The target for today is 45.20. Looking for this 20, this 19.50, 19.20 area to present some resistance for no reason other than it's a measured move. Looking for it to come back in, test the prior settlement, 45.0550, and hold steady here. Higher high, higher low. Not much going on. Pretty tight. Expecting a pretty tight range and not much going. Secondary, open, respond, overnight point of control, come back to settlement, and then start to try to squeeze. This area right here from Friday, this area right here has very little support in the based on Friday's action, but it does have an MC in this area at 95-ish. But this becomes an important area for folks to try to test the high of 97. So 97, this stock zone, and the 4,500 become nice little targets for short side to test, and a good place for buyers to step back in. Secondary, just like that. Not expecting an open and run. Again, expecting 20 to hold us up. Expecting the double O right here, double O, 97. Those are the areas I'm expecting to see resistance or support. This isn't double O, which looks like crap. Looks like eyeballs now. So that's a double O, above 20, the settlement to 45.0550, 4,500, 97. That's it. If we get through that 97, we may see ourselves get back into 82. But anyway, I'm being very conservative today. It is a holiday in the UK, and the Europeans are likely to be light today. So I'm not expecting too much. A good day to focus on the open, maybe for an hour or two at the most, and then go do something else that helps your trading. Go work on that journal or update your metrics, your performance metrics for the month of August or whatever. It's a good day to pay attention to something else, something that you've been putting off. Good luck today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the like, and if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you on Tuesday morning. Take care.